Going to start similar to last week, but with feet pointed back behind you. So this predominantly targets a stretch of the muscles along here. If your knees, if you can't kneel, then you can take one leg back behind you, point your toe back behind you, and just allow the foot to sink towards the floor. So you'll feel, I feel it sort of around the ankles, but you could feel it anywhere up the front of the legs, maybe all the way up into the hip. So choosing whatever's most comfortable for you. If you're kneeling, then you can sit onto your heels, or maybe you need a cushion or something to sit onto. You can make the mat more squishy to help support the knees. So just either rolling it up or just like little creases in it. I'm just going to take 5 breaths here. Noticing what you feel along the tops of your foot, into the ankles, along your shins. And then starting with little movements, just gradually rounding your back. And then lengthening. It's a bit like a wave type movement, so you can just gently tilting your hips under and then back behind you. And then making that movement a bit more like a wave movement. Maybe bringing the arms in, reaching back, and then opening. And then from there, we're going to come forward onto all fours, and then up into downward dog, pressing back through your feet, pressing the floor away from you with your hands, and then stepping one leg in, keeping, so this is more like a high lunge, press down through both feet as you lift your body up, reaching your arms up over your head. Keep pressing through the feet. Keep the knees going out over your second toes. And then exhale, bringing one hand down. You're going to take the other hand up the outside of your legs. You're pressing the floor down through your hand. Keep pressing through your feet, reaching the top arm up, maybe looking up towards it. Exhale, lower your hand down inside your foot. And then you're going to roll onto the outside edge of your foot. Walk your hands slightly away. Maybe sinking down into your elbows. This is quite a strong hip stretch, so it's going slowly into it. Inhale, straighten your arms, rolling your feet flat, and then stepping the back leg in. Inhale, come all the way up. Then you're going to lift your right knee up, keeping your foot flexed, pressing down through the opposite foot. Take your leg back behind you, reaching forwards through your arms. Lowering your hands down, and then explore taking your hand up onto your hip. Maybe twist your hips up towards the ceiling. And then at some point, maybe turning your head, reaching your arm up, and just noticing where that's shifting the weight through your feet. Exhale, lower your hands down. Bring your knee through, gently bending into the standing leg. Keep your weight down into the heel. Bring yourself back up to standing. And then coming into tree. Have your foot below your calf, below your knee or above your knee. So just exploring what's available. Maybe reaching your arms up over your head. Exhale, lower your hands down, cross one leg over the other, roll down and hang. Inhale to come all the way up. And then you're going to step the opposite leg back behind you into a high lunge. Reaching your arms forwards. Reaching back through the back heel. And then stepping forwards, lifting up the left leg, pressing through both heels, growing nice and tall. Take your leg back behind you, reaching forwards through your arms. Maybe lowering your hands down. Take your hand onto your hip. Turn your hips to face up towards the ceiling. Maybe taking your head up. Excuse me. And then exhale, lowering your hands down, bending both knees. Bring yourself all the way back up. And then coming into tree on the other side. Again, either below the knee or above the knee joint. Just make sure you're not on the knee joint. Exhale, bringing your hands down, crossing one leg over the other. Roll down and hang. And then bring yourself all the way down to sitting, taking your feet out in front of you, pressing out through your heels. And just notice if you press away through your heels and press the backs of your legs down, think of lifting and lengthening up through the back of your body. If you've got a nice light block, you can place it just at your hips, and that will give you feedback if you start to collapse. It will fall over. Thought it wasn't going to do that for a second. That just helps you to get, if you need a bit of extra feedback in terms of collapsing. So in order to keep the block there, you've got to stay nice and tall and long in your body. Pressing out through your heels, press your heels down into the floor and just notice where you feel that along the backs of your legs. And then after your next exhale, going to come into a bridge. So have your feet about hip width apart, facing forwards. Maybe touching the backs of your heels with your hands. And then take the midpoint of your chest over your belly button. Inhale, lifting up your hips so you're nice and engaged through here. As you lift and lengthen up through your hips. And then you're going to flex your foot and point your foot. And flex and point. Keep pressing down through the opposite leg. And you'll notice it through the foot, but I'm also noticing a lot through my glutes, my hamstrings and calves. And then changing legs. So you just heel, toe. So touching the floor with your heel and then the toe. This leg's pressing down, really supporting everything. And then when you're ready, lowering all the way down. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Take your hands inside your legs to the outside of your feet. And then press your feet up towards the ceiling. Your head is down. So your hands are pressing your feet down towards your shoulders. Tilt the tip of your chin slightly towards your chest. And then exhale. Hug your knees in towards your chest. You can either wrap your hands around the fronts of your knees, back behind, wherever's comfortable. And then if you feel like it, just stretching your legs out, palms up towards the ceiling, and just allowing everything to just let go and be supported by the floor for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, just bending your knees, gently roll onto one side, use your arm to support your head, and slowly bring yourself up to sitting. Well done.